My name is Jeff Bergquist. This is the ship that I built, the Odysseus. It was inspired by kind of more of a low-tech, long-range spaceship. The main feature, of course, is the gravity ring, which I managed to mechanize. It's definitely been kind of a long work in progress with a lot of new challenging techniques that I tried to use with it. The main structural support is 2 upper and lower beams, and then the rest of it's just kind of cosmetic plating for the most part. I've rebuilt the whole thing at least 2.5 times due to various issues and accidents. Originally I had a counter-rotating ring in front of the primary ring that I thought would look really good with the effect of the two going against each other, but that was just a little too much weight for the axle to handle. So the ring itself is supported by a Technic axle on the front and the back end, and all of the torque that the motor is providing is going through that one Technic axle to make the whole thing move.
Wow. So it's all resting on the one axle then?
Yes. Okay. So there's one axle holding that whole ring in place.
That's very impressive. How long will the ring run pretty much continuously?
It's on a battery pack, so it's just a matter of how long do the batteries last. I have not tried to run it until a meltdown scenario yet. Whenever it starts to slow down, that's generally when I change out the battery so that I don't end up overheating the motor as it strains to try to get it over the top.
Mm-hmm. And when you started this project, did you kind of sketch out designs at all, or was it pretty much just lay out the bricks and go for it?
Oh no, there was definitely quite a bit of sketching initially to try to make sure I'd have the whole thing proportional when I got to the final building stage. So sketching out on graph paper, tried a few different designs, got the general size and shape ratios that I wanted, and then started putting the bricks together after that.
Mm-hmm. How'd you decide on the largely white color scheme for the ship?
The color scheme and the front end were actually inspired by images that I saw online of a NASA prototype concept for a faster-than-light ship.
Oh, wow.
And I really liked the way it was white, it was very sleek looking, and so I was trying to capture that sense and aesthetics in the build. And then the combination of adding in the Translite blue, I thought the two really worked well together.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that's always cool with spaceships like this is the way that certain pieces are used to create some cool effects on the ship. So if you want to point out some of the favorite pieces that you use that you might not normally expect to see in a build like this?
So the two that I think are most interesting is the pod on the back end is actually from a Bionicle container from, I was told it was 2004. So the containers came with these lid pieces where 2 lids come together and snap together to form a ball. I've had them for years and haven't done anything with them, but this seemed like a really good opportunity. And then the other one is these kind of round circular members I've gotten a few places. Those came out when LEGO released a series of little pod kits. There was a little robot, a little race car, and so there was a transparent pod piece, but then it had this top and bottom. And those are the top and bottom pieces which lock together and make a really nice disc that doesn't look like the traditional radar dish.
Yeah, it works really well. So when you're transporting this to the show, what's setup like for this build?
A little nerve-wracking, since as you can see it does wobble a little bit, and it's supported by the stand there, which is kind of minimalist. But the back section and the front section are independent of the ring. So I basically just pull the front and back apart, support the ring in the process, and then I've got 3 pieces that I need to transport.
Well, when the whole thing comes together, it looks amazing, so I appreciate you bringing it to the show, and thanks for chatting with me about it. Thank you.
Thank you.